Welcome to Creatives Grab Coffee, the podcast on the business of video production.
Creatives Grab Coffee is hosted by Dario Nuri and Kirill Lazarov from Labs Productions. Our goal is to share knowledge and experiences from video production professionals around the world. Whether you're a freelancer looking to start your own business or a seasoned business owner aiming to scale your company, this is the show for you.
Join us as we develop a community of like-minded creatives looking to learn and help each other grow. Welcome to the business of video production. Welcome to Creatives Grab Coffee.
Before we get started with the show, let's go over today's sponsors.
Do you have a shoot in Toronto? Do you need crew or a strong production partner to help you with your project? Labs Productions is one of the top production companies in Toronto and your go-to video partner.
With our strong creative skills and extensive network, we can help you achieve your goal. Labs Productions is able to offer you production services, white label services, or finder fees for project handoffs.
Reach out to us on our website at labsproductions.com to learn more.
My name is Miran. Welcome to Canada Film Equipment. We are a boutique rental house based in Toronto. We are here to help you guys out with all production sizes. Feel free to contact us to get a quote if you are a production house and you're looking for lighting, camera packages, or lighting and group fan packages. You can see our contact information in the link below. We are more than happy to help you guys out. Make sure you follow and subscribe to creativesgrabcoffee.com. Thank you.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Matt. Welcome to Audio Process. We are a boutique audio company doing location sound, sound design, post-sound, ADR, Foley. We service equipment. We do all your audio needs here in Toronto. We got you covered. Come on down, audioprocess.ca. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and all of the other internet things to creativesgrabcoffee.com. They'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you, and we're all gonna have a real good time.
Creatives Grab Coffee is on Patreon. Help support the show by becoming a patron via the link in the description and get exclusive access to
full uncut episodes, all reels and highlights at episode release, live shows and call-ins, ability to request cities and guests, and updates plus BTS content. Join now via the link in the description to get access to all the knowledge our guests have to offer. And now, let's begin the show. So, where did we leave off in that 30-second conversation?
We got real deep there, yeah.
We got real deep. So, Emmy award-winning filmmaker, amazing. You're like the first that we have on this podcast.
Hold on, we might be insulting some people if they did win some Emmys and we say like we didn't, they didn't.
Well, no one mentioned it, so.
Oh.
The first to show off.
Maybe there is
the first to show off their Emmys
yeah, maybe
on the
they're
podcast.
Maybe they're a little more modest and didn't work them conveniently into the background of their setup.
We get it. It's for the clients. It's for the clients. So they're like, ooh, trophies.
Exactly. Everyone loves the trophy. All right, well, let's get this party going. Okay, so today we got Pat from Path 8 Productions, based out of Boston. So Boston guest number 2 on the show. Welcome to the show, Pat.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's kind of dive into it. Pat. Sorry, I was going to say your name doesn't really need much explanation as to why you chose that name for your business, but tell us a little bit about you and your business.
I wonder if his company's called Pat or Pat H8. Maybe H is part of his last name. You know, his last name starts with
it. Is. It's Henderson, his last name.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a reason.
Oh, that tripped me out.
There you go. Nice to meet you, Dario. So the name, I get asked that a lot, and most people, it's pretty obvious. My name's Pat Henderson. I started as a freelancer, Pat Henderson Productions, for a long time, and then I got to the point where the company was getting to where I was using a lot of freelancers myself. I didn't have any full-time employees at that point, but it was more than just me, and I wanted to come across as that, more than just me on productions and with clients. So, you know, they're not expecting that it's you there all the time or that it's you doing every part of the process. So in thinking of a name, I took a while, thought up as many names as I could, went through a lot, worked with some other people on it, and everything just kind of felt forced. And then, thought of, oh, my name and my first initial of my last name kind of makes a word there. And it's a word that kind of works and has like some meanings that you can intertwine into this. And where does the 8 come from? Everyone asks that. Actually, recently, I realized that my last name is 8 letters, so it really kind of ties into my name. Definitely a happy accident there. Honestly, the real reason is because 8's my favorite number, and there was already other Path productions. But I didn't just stop there. I Googled Path 8 to see if there was anything, and there's life paths. It's like a zodiac thing or whatever those are. And the life path 8 had some good meaning to it about like a never-ending trying to achieve greatness, something like that. So I thought that was a nice tie-in. So the fancy answer is, it's based off of these life paths, blah, blah, blah. But the real answer is...
That's what you tell the client.
Is it my name? It's my name, and it's my favorite number, and it works. So yeah, we have 6.5 employees now. So if we get up to 8, maybe I cap it there, and then I make that the real reason. But yeah, that's kind of what went into that name.
I'm just wondering from your end, like, did you set aside like a rainy day fund in case like maybe work dried up at some point? Because you have quite a few people on your staff right now, right?
Probably should think about doing that. No, I mean, I get to a point where I was comfortable enough with the money the business was bringing in and knew we had a little bit put aside where if like everything stopped for a couple months, we'd be fine. But really where the like assurance came from that is just the consistent work that we have from certain clients and just knowing, okay, if everything falls off, these clients are at least coming in with this work consistently over the last couple of years. So the likelihood of all those clients just stopping all their work at the same time is low. And also, that's just part of the risk of having a business, I guess. And if everything dried up, like, we'd have to adjust and we'd have to figure out and probably make some tough decisions. But luckily, it's not a problem that we've had. And I kind of also go into everything with the mindset of that could happen at any time. So I'm just always hungrily looking for new business and looking for ways to further assist our current clients and just not like resting on our laurels of we made this much this year. We're definitely going to make more than that next year. I'm like, crap, we made this much this year. Like that's a lot of pressure to make that again. And then hopefully we can make more. So just like, I think a lot of it is a mindset and just, being fortunate enough to have some amazing clients who value the work that we do and keep coming back for more.
So it's all essentially about calculating the risk tolerance that you guys have for bringing in people in the future based on how your relationships with your clients are, right? It's not a matter of we should just hire a bunch of people, but also have like $1 million in the bank and as a reserve just in case everything just stops. It's just a matter of having that calculated risk. Because we've talked to a lot of people on the show who've it's been a lot of aggressive expansion with some of them. And when they were telling us about how they did it, it worked for them. But Dario and I are thinking to ourselves, like, we can't just aggressively expand like that. Like, we can't hire 3 to 5 people in 1 year. But you did it very slowly, which I think lends itself to your calculating the risk tolerance of what you can afford if something happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's never going to be like, okay, I'm guaranteed that this person is going to fill in X amount of work and it's going to be a positive on the money side of things. And there's no chance that this could go wrong. And there's no chance that, we're going to need to, something's going to happen. Like there's always a risk. I think a lot of the way I look at business and just kind of everything is like, don't let great be the enemy of good and kind of not letting, you need to think things through, but also like don't overthink, like just kind of common sense of, all right, we're making this amount of money, like that's enough money to sustain an employee. Let's try it. I went one at a time every time we hired someone, got to the point where, all right, we're in, that person's settled, we're doing comfortably, we're still growing, let's go. We could use another person to really help us out, let's add them. Like for instance, the person that I hired this past June to kind of run the wedding side of the business, that was a side of the business that was getting less and less of my attention as the corporate side grew, where I was like a huge bottleneck there and I wasn't bringing any value. So I'm like, if I can, and this guy, he had came to me and he was a freelancer while he was finishing college and was awesome. He did great work and was really impressed by him. And I'm like, how is there a way to get him involved in the company? We already have a shooter editor. I don't know if we need two, but if I offset his costs with the wedding work, then that also opens him up to do corporate work, and that's kind of bonus time there. So kind of figuring out ways to creatively handle things, I think helps as well.
I like how you kept the wedding business as another income stream as well, because like a lot of people that start in our industry, they start with weddings being a portion of like the freelance income. And then as soon as they can make the transition to 100% corporate, they just leave the weddings behind. But I like that as a business, you still kept it in like your portfolio, right?
But the difference, Dario.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference, Dario.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the difference, Dario, that you might be referring to is that a lot of those other people freelanced for
No.
weddings, right?
A lot
So
of
they're
them.
working
No, a lot of other guests started their own company.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then
yeah.
as soon as they made the transition to corporate, they like left it.
Right.
Yeah. I like how he still kept it as like another source of income. Because even though like he was becoming too busy with stuff, he just put someone else in charge of it. He's still getting that stream, and he's focusing on the corporate.
And it's good because it's offsetting you're essentially using some of the same team members that would be shooting on the wedding or working on the wedding side to help support on the corporate side and vice versa. So if one business is like a little bit slower a few months, the other one can kind of help supplement it a little bit as well. So that's very smart.
Thanks. Yeah, with the weddings, just pumping my tires over here. So I feel like what you were saying, Dario, that's like what everyone does, right? You start with weddings because it's really low barrier to entry. You get your feet wet, you kind of get to operate a business a little bit. And then once you get busy enough with the corporate, you don't want to work on weekends and you leave weddings. But the way that I was able to kind of build up the wedding business, I was shooting and editing everything myself. It was a lot. I was working a full-time job, working my freelance stuff on the side, and then also working weddings. So I was just always working. Yeah. Missed a lot of summer weekends. My wife wasn't loving that time of our lives, probably. Did a lot of stuff alone, but and able to build that up. And then, eventually I was like, okay, I think if I treat somebody the edit side of how we do things, I can hand off the editing. Then got comfortable with that, handed off all the editing. Then I'm like, all right, I can't film. Like I was filming, 20 weddings a year. It's like, I can't film 40 weddings a year. I mean, I physically could, but not really.
Compromise.
So
I can, but I can't.
Found some other people. Yeah. If I want to still have a wife and a life. But yeah, so found some people who I was comfortable with, brought them in, and then kind of kept it to where we're at now, where we do around 30 to 40 a year. And I think the most useful part about the weddings business, other than that, I think that we do provide a great service for the clients that we work with, and we love working with those couples. But it doesn't take much of my time at all. I do like the sales calls with the couple. I generally kind of oversee things, make sure all the edits are looking good and everything like that. But what it really is, like I was saying, supporting that salary. It's also a great way to build up your freelance crew. You can test people out in the wedding grounds, and if somebody can film a wedding, they can definitely film an event. And they can probably film anything else, because it's a really difficult shoot. Like if you think you're out there, you're covering a whole day's event that has 200 people there, super important moments that can never get redone, and you're out there and you're getting good stuff and making it happen, like you can transition to the corporate side of things so much easier. And it's a great way to kind of vet people. And I've gotten some of our best freelancers that we use on the corporate side from going through the wedding side.
Yeah, because even when they're freelancing when you get a freelancer that does weddings, like they need to have that like social skill of dealing with so many different people throughout the day, and that transitions really well into like corporate because you're dealing with someone else's clients and you got to be like on your best behavior and like be able to break the ice, and also about like thinking on the spot, improvising really quickly. The only thing that they'll always lack is just lighting skills with actual lights. Natural light will be easy because you just figure it out, but with actual lights, that's the part that you still need to have that corporate experience to figure out for like interview setups and whatnot.
But as a starting point,
Yeah,
is good.
but
It's a
a
good starting point,
great starting
especially
point.
like essentially if you're getting, like you said, if you can get people with all those natural skills, you know, of just kind of like the drive and dedication to do work, knowing how to problem solve, which is huge in our industry. And weddings are a great way to teach that to you very quickly, because you're probably like doing like 10 problems that you're solving every single wedding that you're doing at the very least. So all the technical stuff can be taught later. You know, like I'd rather get someone who has a lot of those good like social skills, problem solving skills, rather than someone who's like super technically proficient, rather than the opposite, someone who's very proficient but can't talk to clients, can't it just has like low energy on set. You know, that's the thing you can't teach, right? And it's just a matter of trying to find the right type of people to work with, right? That's the most important thing.
I couldn't agree more. I think that's something that I'm always saying, is you need to have the people who have the right attitude, right personality, just to come off the wedding thing. But you're working like long days on weekends, filming, problem solving, dealing with, like, you're in people's homes on a really important day of their life. If you can deal with that, a corporate stuff's going to be easy. And yes, like there's stuff like lighting and different types of audio and even the shots and whatnot that you get are going to be different on the corporate side. But it's way easier to teach somebody the technical skills or to improve upon their technical skills or convert them over to the corporate than it is to teach somebody drive and motivation and personality and dealing with clients. That is also, to me, the most important part. There's so many, like you guys interview video production companies all the time. There's so many video production companies out there. There's so many that can do the work that we do. There's just a lot. So where do we kind of stand out? It's the experience on a shoot, the experience of working with our team, our processes, just making sure everything from the time that we first talk to the client to when we deliver the final videos and then beyond into working on further videos, that process is super smooth and enjoyable, because it's like for our clients, that video is one thing they need to do in their day out of plenty other tasks. And we want to make that piece enjoyable, easy, and not something that's a headache for them, which it could easily be in the wrong hands.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt. Welcome to Audio Process. We are a boutique audio company doing location sound, sound design, post-sound, ADR, Foley. We service equipment. We do all your audio needs here in Toronto. We got you covered. Come on down, audioprocess.ca. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and all of the other internet things to creativesgrabcoffee.com. They'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you, and we're all going to have a real good time.
My name is Miran. Welcome to Canada Film Equipment. We are a boutique rental house based in Toronto. We are here to help you guys out with all production sizes. Feel free to contact us to get a quote if you are a production house and you're looking for lighting, camera packages, or lighting and grid fan packages. You can see our contact information in the link below. We are more than happy to help you guys out. Make sure you follow and subscribe to creativesgrabcoffee.com. Thank you.
Pat, I have a quick question regarding, like, now you have a sizable team. I'm just wondering, what do you do to keep up, like, a team spirit? Like, do you do any group activities, or, like, how do you kind of elevate it above just a clock in, clock out type of job?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question and something that I'm always working at, especially in what we do. We all work remote. Like, we don't have a central office. We see each other on shoots. But some of the team never really sees each other because, you know, our animator doesn't really go on shoots, or our content producer and operations guy, he's at home, he doesn't come up. We have another person, the part-time producer, who's down in Atlanta. So, you know, we don't really get together other than on shoots. But so what we've done is we see everybody on the team meeting every week. We do a monthly lunch where we all get together, at least the local crew gets together, and we just hang out, go somewhere for lunch, have a good time with that. Every summer, fall, I do a cookout at my house where I have our team, all of our freelancers, you know, anybody who's kind of around. So I have that actually on this Sunday. There's like 35 people coming. It's always an awesome time, and just and we do a Christmas party as well, where we, you know, go to some fun place and get everybody there. And I think that those times are super valuable, whether it's the lunches, the parties. It's just like getting everyone together off of a shoot where you don't have to be so buttoned up, and you can kind of just hang. And we, like, the only people that we continue to work with are like really good people to hang out with, back to what we were talking about as far as dealing with clients. So when you get all those people together, and they might have like seen somebody on a shoot like 3 months before, or they've been like, I hear everybody talking about you, I've never met you. Just kind of getting everyone together and letting them kind of meet each other and hang out. It's always just like the best time, and definitely one of my favorite things.
That's a good thing to strive for, to find people to work with that you would grab a beer with, essentially, right? You know, someone that you would get together socially. I mean, it's not easy to find, you know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. If you want to get someone who's really good at what they do, like, maybe you'll hang out with them here and there, but it's not like he's your best friend or anything like that. But yeah, like I think that's definitely key. And throwing these like social parties, you know, for the listeners, it's not like just a classic pizza party like a lot of companies do. You know, it's something a little bit more involved, and I'm sure you have like a process for that as well, where, you know, just everyone kind of gets together and just enjoys themselves, right? It's not like it's not like a dry thing, right?
Yes, for sure. Like last year, our Christmas party was at Flight Club, which is like a darts place downtown Boston. We usually do something fun like that. Like, we have the cookout coming up on Sunday. There'll be plenty of good food and drinks and everything. So it's a good time. Games to play. Everyone has fun.
Nice. So your whole team's remote, eh?
Yeah. So everyone works from their house, except when we're on shoots. We do that. We looked into getting an office, especially, I think 2021 was the most I looked into it, because coming off the pandemic, like, leases for commercial spaces were really affordable. But the two issues we ran into are, one, we wanted such a small space, and there was so much space available that realtors weren't even getting back to us. Like, you're not even putting a dent in our inventory. Like, we need somebody to rent 30,000 square feet, not 15. There's that. I just really think, like, there's a camaraderie part that definitely comes from an office that I think would be improved if we had an office. But outside of that, I think everyone enjoys working from home. Everyone's able to kind of work, not necessarily more, but like more effectively, because you're not spending time commuting. I don't want to commute every day. And, you know, it's just like, and it's an overhead expense. We were talking earlier about taking on people. You look into what an office costs. I'd rather hire an employee, or at least have that be part of an employee's salary, rather than a space that, you know, we go to. If there was a studio, we looked into having a studio or something and trying to make some money off of that. But just like when it broke everything down, it just made the most sense to keep everybody remote. And yeah, it's working.
Do you have a shoot in Toronto? Do you need crew or a strong production partner to help you with your project? Lapse Productions is one of the top production companies in Toronto and your go-to video partner.
With our strong creative skills and extensive network, we can help you achieve your goal. Lapse Productions is able to offer you production services, white label services, or finder fees for project handoffs.
Reach out to us on our website at lapseproductions.com to learn more.
Before we finish off, I'm just curious about like the economic state for video production down in Boston right now, because, you know, we have the high interest rates, economy's not doing so well at the moment. I'm just wondering, like, have you noticed your work being affected, or maybe because of the specific industries you work with, there may not be an effect? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I think that every industry's at least been a little affected. We work a lot in healthcare and in education, two industries that are aren't as affected by what's going on, necessarily all the time. Like as a year goes, this year has been better than last year for us, and there's definitely been some projects that have kind of fallen off based off of how companies are doing and things like that. But on a whole, there's still been a lot of work, and it hasn't been like something that's been a super noticeable problem as of yet. It's been more something where there's a handful of things that scaled back a bit or fell off and got pushed to later that maybe not have otherwise. But I mean, I feel like with anything, there's always going to be factors outside of your control, outside of what you can do, whether it's the economy or just trends or whatever's going on, and each business and how that business is doing at the time and all that. So if we're able to keep working with our consistent clients and all's good with them, and then we're able to keep looking for new clients, there's always going to be clients that need video. It's just a matter of finding them and making sure that you're the right fit with them. So I think that kind of, while that does affect, we try not focus on that too much, because it's really easy to use that as an excuse, right? To be like, we're not doing as good, like, it's because of the economy. But what can you do about the economy?
Nothing.
Zero. If you have, if you look into what am I doing that affects this? Oh, maybe, I'm not on as many sales calls, or I'm not reaching out to as many potential clients. Like, you can look at stuff that you can control and try to work on that to help overcome what might be a factor outside of your control that you have absolutely nothing you can do with.
That's a great outlook to have, and a very positive one at that, because we find like sometimes when we talk to certain people, it's like, the industry's not good, so not a lot of work is coming in. But it's like, you got to kind of take responsibility for that. If the work is not kind of coming in, you have to look at what's working and what isn't working, right? Like when the pandemic hit, that's what we had to do, right? We realized like, we didn't really have a business set in place. Let's fix that. So we did that. But now you have to keep that going, especially in the down periods. It's like, why are we not having any work at this time? It's because we didn't preemptively work on any sales or outreach a couple months prior. That's why we have no work coming in right now. So I think that's what every business owner in our industry needs to do, is to take responsibility for when times are down. And that's what makes a successful business, is being able to work through that.
Yeah, I think, in the nature of our work, it's like you get busy. So then you're like, crap, I'm too busy. I'm not going to be selling. But that's when you need to sell, because that busy is those projects finish up, and then you're like, where's all the work? So, you need to keep feeding it no matter what. And, like you said, there's people that use it as an excuse or whatnot, or they do fall off on certain things. Like I was saying, there's so many video production companies out there that I think that's what can help you survive long term, is to work harder and to kind of look at things a different way than some of those companies who might blame those external factors or start pulling back, and then all of a sudden, they're not around as long. So it's, trying to just control what you can control, do as much as you can do, and then hopefully that's good enough to keep things moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, Pat, thank you so much for joining us on the show and sharing your experiences. And we look forward to keeping in touch and seeing where Path 8 goes, or whatever the next iteration of Path 8 is, right?
Thanks so much, guys. It was awesome to chat with you and be on here, and really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care. Thanks for listening to this episode of Creatives Grab Coffee. Please make sure to follow and engage with us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app.
If you enjoyed this content and want to hear more, you can get the whole experience on our Patreon at patreon.com/creativesgrabcoffee, or click on the link in the description.
You'll get access to full uncut episodes, all reels and highlights at episode release, live shows and call-ins, ability to request cities and guests, as well as updates and BTS content.
Creatives Grab Coffee is created by Labs Productions, a video production company based in Toronto, Canada.
Creatives Grab Coffee is also sponsored by... Do you have a shoot in Toronto? Do you need crew or a strong production partner to help you with your project? Labs Productions is one of the top production companies in Toronto and your go-to video partner.
With our strong creative skills and extensive network, we can help you achieve your goal. Labs Productions is able to offer you production services, white label services, or finder fees for project handoffs.
Reach out to us on our website at lapsproductions.com to learn more.
My name is Miran. Welcome to Canada Film Equipment. We are a boutique rental house based in Toronto. We are here to help you guys out with all production sizes. Feel free to contact us to get a quote if you are a production house and you're looking for lighting, camera packages, or lighting and group band packages. You can see our contact information in the link below. We are more than happy to help you guys out. Make sure you follow and subscribe to creativesgrabcoffee.com. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt. Welcome to Audio Process. We are a boutique audio company doing location sound, sound design, post-sound, ADR, Foley. We service equipment. We do all your audio needs here in Toronto. We got you covered. Come on down, audioprocess.ca. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and all of the other internet things to creativesgrabcoffee.com. They'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you, and we're all gonna have a real good time.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.